But let's get down to business in the commodity markets. Manisha Gupta is here to give us a roundup there. Manisha, what are you looking at?
Well, I'm looking at copper within the metal sector, Sonia, because this is one metal that has continued resilience, and we've seen gains continue onto this one. So in the international markets, we are trading very close to those 7-month highs. We did see copper prices decline all the way to 4-week lows, but the prices have come off from those kind of levels. Trading still on the lower side of the range, but there has been gains that we've seen in Shanghai and on LME as well. Well, you have to look at the US dollar index, and that's rebounded a bit, and that perhaps seems to be putting some pressure right now. But when you look at the fundamentals, the political and social unrest in Chile and Peru is something that the street will keep an eye on. And apart from that, it is also going to be about the Chinese demand. While there has been a lot of euphoria there, but whether there are confirmation demand numbers now coming in from China is something that the street is watching for. Apart from that, when you look at the inventories, those have seen a bit of a gain up, and that's the reason you have seen some pressure. So 61% of an increase, and this is happening exactly when you had the Lunar New Year holidays in China. So that means there was stockpiling in sense of inventories. The factories and manufacturing was shut, and that has led to higher inventories there. The global manufacturing activity has declined in the month of January. That also is keeping the prices in check. So whether it has been about US, China or Europe, we've seen the manufacturing numbers come in on the weaker side there. Again, as far as inventories are concerned, there are supply disruptions in Peru. This is where 2% of the global copper output comes in from, and the street will keep an eye on to that one as well. When you look at the copper, well, it's used in EV production. It is the green transition metal as well. So the markets do believe that in the second quarter, that is when the construction activity picks up as well, is when you will look at demand coming back into the markets. I also want to show you on what the prices have done in the meantime. In 2021, when you look at the Chinese demand, we've seen 1.5% of gains, and the markets do anticipate that for the current year, you're looking at 4.5% of gains. There is the reason you have the copper prices still trading in the positive for the month of Jan and 2023 as well. That picture should come in on your screens now, because for the last year, we saw the copper prices decline by 13%, which was the first annual drop since 2018. But in the month of Jan, we started with a bang. It was 12% of a gain. For the month of Feb, until now, there is some profit taking. So you have the copper prices down by 4.5%. But for the year, until now, we still are 8% on the higher side there. Another interesting number that I want to put on screen is that this is the data that LME released recently, and they said that Russian metals as of now make 42% of the total LME stock in Asia as on 31st of Jan. And here as well, when you look at copper, you have higher Russian metal there. 94% of copper on LME right now is Russian, 41% of aluminum is Russian, and 16% of nickel also is from Russia. So this is majorly in the Asian warehouses where we are looking at Russian metal coming in as a last resort. So this is something as well which the markets will take cues from.
Manisha, thank you very much for that. Now the mid-cap index is also
On PATM, post which the stock saw a massive up move. Stay tuned for more.